Jokic will be awarded his second straight MVP trophy, and he will be honored by the crew there at TNT. Chuck, do you know when that's going to happen? Is it tonight or tomorrow night?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that question. We were kind of caught off guard last night because they didn't tell us anything before, and we thought other network kind of screwed us. So we weren't very happy last night. So it's either I don't think it's tonight, but I think it's tomorrow night. But hey, listen, it's going to be. Well, first of all, we got to talk Avalanche because, man, let me tell you something. Those boys are rolling right now.
Ooh, boy.
Oh, Chuck.
Yeah.
I'm here in Nashville right now. I called the game. We're done. It's all you guys, TNT and ESPN from this point on. But I called the game last night, and Charles, I'm telling you right now, this team, and I know you watch a ton of hockey. This team, you've seen the best teams in all sports, as focused as you've ever seen them. That's where this Avalanche team is right now.
Well, I was sitting with the hockey guys last night, actually, because, we all in the same, right across the studio from each other. So I was sitting with Tocchet, Bissonnette, Ian, and those guys, and they're like, and Tocchet said something. We were watching the game because we got like 100 televisions we watch. I watch it because I had both hockey games on, the NBA game, and I was watching The Good Doctor, which is so. I was in heaven. I was in heaven last night. And Tocchet said, he says, man, the Avalanche, they really look good. He says, I said, is it Maker or Makar?
Yeah, Makar.
And Tocchet said, man, he might be the most underrated player, great player in hockey. And Rick been around for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Everybody know Nathan, who's a stud, but he says, man, the guy you need to watch is Makar. I mean, he is a flat-out monster. And I know y'all goalie got hurt, which what's the ruling on him right now? How long is he out?
He'll be fine. He's got a swollen eye. These are hockey players. They're not NBA players, Chuck. They'll be back at it. They stitch it up and get back on the ice.
Hey, listen, every time I think it's always hilarious. Every time an NBA player get hit, you think, oh, he's dead. I think he's dead. He's dead.
Charles, they have a week. I mean, they'll probably have a week off before they get to round number 2, but he should be okay. This Makar, I'm trying to think. We just had a caller say, okay, well, kid's 23 years old. Nathan McKinnon, Charles, who's one of the best players on the earth, just said last night he thinks Makar is probably the best player in the league. I mean, the kid came in out of college. He burst onto the scene, a couple, 3 years ago, scored a goal in his first career playoff game. He's like Kobe coming in and just exploding onto the scene and taking over. That's what this kid is doing right now. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. So who y'all play the next round? Who y'all play the winner of?
Winner of St. Louis, Minnesota.
Yeah, that's 2-2, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
right
tough. Yeah, they're tied up. Yeah.
Yeah. That's whoever wins. I think whoever wins that game tonight is going to win that series. I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to the Toronto series tonight against because I'm a pseudo Lighting fan because me and John Cooper are really good friends. But man, I can't wait to watch that game tonight because it is a monster game.
All right, Chuck, visiting with.
Okay, so congratulations to the Joker.
Yes.
We're splitting hairs. I thought.
No. I want you to apologize to me, Chuck, because remember, I saw you in Cleveland in February, and I told you then, I said, you watch, he's going to be the MVP, and you said, no way. You mentioned DeMar DeRozan, John Morant, and I laughed, Chuck. So just go ahead. Go ahead, I'll take it.
I said at the time, I thought DeMar was playing great. I said it's going to come down to Embiid because he was playing great. Joker was playing great, and DeMar was playing great. I had no problem. And listen, let's look at the final 3. I would have had no problem with any of the 3 winning it, to be honest with you. If I had a vote, I don't have a vote. If I had a vote, I would have gave a slight edge to Joel Embiid. That's just me personally. But I got no problem with Joker winning. But if Embiid won it, it would have been a great. If Giannis had won it, But I got no problem with Joker winning it.
And that's fine. I think we're all in the same boat there, Chuck.
Exactly right.
We don't mind. Like, if Embiid had won the award, we in Denver would not be crying about it. We're just surprised at all the salt coming from everywhere else. Oh, my God. Joker doesn't deserve it. What do you mean he doesn't deserve it? His numbers are better this year. If you look at his numbers stacked up next to Embiid in the playoffs, by the way, Chuck, look at their playoff numbers. Joker averaged more points, more rebounds, more assists, more block shots, more steals, better shooting percentage, better three-point shooting percentage, everything. Now, his team got derailed in the first round.
Hey,
team.
And you forgot one stat. He gets more vacation time, too.
Yeah.
That's a stat.
Yeah, you know why. You know why, Chuck. Come on. Chuck, you know why.
Listen, hey, man, you guys in Denver, y'all are a little sensitive out there. Hey, listen, listen. You know I'm a big Mike Malone fan, and he can be whiny at times because you guys say, "Well, the Joker never get any respect. He never gets any respect." I said, "Wait a minute, did he just win MVP?" I'm not even counting this year. I'm like, how can you tell me a guy doesn't get respect? He just won MVP last year, so clearly he gets respect. And he was in the conversation all year. We knew he was going to be in a top 3 candidate. So why are y'all so whiny but he never gets respect?
Well, let me tell you why. Who was the last MVP not to play on Christmas Day, the marquee day for the NBA? He was left off the Christmas Day schedule, Chuck. Who does that?
Yeah,
well, well, first of all, I have no control over the Christmas Day schedule. We don't even work Christmas Day. Listen, he should be on Christmas Day. That's a fair assessment. But, we don't do games on Christmas. You can talk to ESPN or Adam Silver about that. But listen, I am not going to be upset. It doesn't deserve any shade. I have been very clear to you guys. I had no problem with any of the 3 guys winning. Like I say, I don't have, Ernie has a vote. He voted for Joker. We talked about it yesterday on our podcast. But I said, I got no problem with you voting for Joker. And what I did yesterday, because I got a text from TNT saying somebody leaked the story. So I actually got in my car and drove around like a nitwit for like an hour, flipping around and see what everybody was saying about it. And some of the people, they were irate and upset because when I was doing the podcast, I wanted to get a perspective. And like I say, Ernie said, "Hey, I voted for Joker," and I said, "I got no problem with that." If Embiid had won or Giannis, I said the exact same thing. And I said if I had a vote, I probably would have voted for Joel. But listen, Joker is a terrific player. It seems like a great kid. I don't know him that well, but it seems like a great kid. But I do. It was a tough call, to be honest with you. It was what I want to see, though. What I told Ernie, I want to see the voting. And what I mean by that, you only had 3. You had to out of this because you can tell who's biased by how they vote. You can tell because what happens is you have to vote Giannis, Joel, or Joker. They had to be 1, 2, 3. They had to be 1, 2, 3. And if you voted another way, you were trying to make a point and sabotage it because this is a very sore subject for me. I should have won 2 MVPs in 1988, 89. I was playing for the 76ers, and I lost to Magic Johnson in the closest MVP voting ever. And I wasn't like he was Magic Johnson. I wasn't upset. I knew I should have won. Everybody thought I was going to win. But what happened was when I looked at the voting, I got the most first place votes, but then I didn't get any second and third place vote. Everybody put me like 4 or 5. So I said, wait a minute, you guys screwed me in that one because I had to be first or second, at worst case third. So I'm really going to look at the voting when it comes out because if you voted Joker 1 and you put Giannis and Embiid 4th, 5th, or 6th, you deliberately tried to make sure that somebody won. So that's what I'm going to be really curious at watching.
Oh, absolutely, Chuck. We see it all the time. I mean, we all here love Joel Embiid. I love everything about his game. I like him as a dude. Got nothing but respect. If he had won, we would all be like, hell yeah, I can see that. But I need to ask you, when these things come out, like Joker, the first guy with 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, 500 assists in a season, when he does stuff that either has never been done before or it hasn't been done since Wilt, it hasn't been done since Kareem, it hasn't been done since whatever. How much weight do you throw that way when Joker is doing things that either we've never seen before or we haven't seen in 20, 30, 40, 50 years?
Well, a couple things. Number one, I think Joel does make himself be annoying when he complains about it all the time. And he talks about it all the time. Because remember, he came out like a month ago, like, I don't know what I got to do to win the MVP. And I said, well,
he said everybody hates me. Yeah.
Well, I said, well, first of all, you let Giannis come to your house and just kick your ass on national television and block your shot to seal the game. And then the next night he went to Brooklyn and put a full 40 and just kicked their ass. So I said, well, when you go on national television, you send a message. I said, but, I got, like I say, actually I think one of the weaknesses of the Nuggets is one of the weaknesses of the Dallas Mavericks and the weakness of the Milwaukee Bucks. I think they rely way too much on the Joker. I said last week, man, in Game 3 in the Maverick series, they got so lucky because Luka got in foul trouble. And then, because go back to the Utah series, Bronson and Dinwiddie played totally different when he's not in the game. They played fantastic. So Friday night, Luka got in foul trouble, and they went off, and the same thing happened in Game 4. When Luka's in the game, they give him the ball every single time instead of just, no, man, he's supposed to finish games. He's supposed to be our superstar. We're not supposed to give him the ball every single time in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and all of us standing around and watch him do his thing. I think that's one of the weaknesses of the Mavs. And it showed in Game 3 and 4. I think one of the weaknesses of Milwaukee last night, they just they going back to what they did like 2-3 years ago. Just get a ball to Giannis and let him go one-on-one, and that's not going to work against the Celtics. And the point I'm trying to make is, I think that's one of the weaknesses of the Denver Nuggets. I think they rely way too much on Joker. They give him the ball every single time up and down the court. I think it's going to be curious when they come back, when Jamal comes back and Michael Porter Jr., as great as Joker is, and, if you go back and look at that Last Dance documentary, they said, we got to stop giving the ball to Michael every single time. And that's when they became one of the greatest teams ever. Sometimes you have a great player, you don't have to give him the ball every single time. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons that Joker's numbers are fantastic, but they're a little inflated because, man, get a ball to somebody else up and down the court sometime. Because there's so much pressure on Joker to make every single play. That, to me, is one of the weaknesses of the Nuggets team.
Well, is that something you think can change in the future? Because it's almost like they had to do that this year with Porter and Murray out. It's like, what is the second option to it? But next year, I think you could see that happen more. I mean, do you think that with that fully healthy roster next year for the Nuggets, that could change?
Well, they're going to have to change. They're going to have to. But they did that when those guys were healthy, too. I mean, I'd run more plays for Jamal, even Monte Morris and Will Barton and guys like that. Those guys are all good players, but they run everything through Joker because as a coach and as an organization, you have to get those other players confidence. Like Bronson didn't all of a sudden become a good player last week. He became a hell of a player because Luka was out the game. Like, no, man. And the same thing with Dinwiddie. Those guys dominated Utah. And now they go back as soon as Luka comes back in Game 1 and Game 2. They just get the ball to Luka every time, and the Suns just beat the hell out of them. And then, like I say, in Game 3 and 4, he gets in foul trouble, and all of a sudden, wait, Dinwiddie and Bronson have really good games, and the other kid. I said, that's because they're not giving the ball to Luka every time. Everybody's standing around and watching them go one-on-one. So that's what the Nuggets, before they go to the next level, as great as Joker is, I mean, like I say, that's the one thing that when I was studying that Last Dance thing, they're like, Tex Winter says, guys, we can't just get a ball to Michael every time and watch him go one-on-one. we're not going to win like that. And that's one of the things the Nuggets are going to have to improve upon.
Yeah. All right, last thing, Chuck, and we'll let you go. We really appreciate your time. I believe that the Denver Nuggets lost in the first round to the eventual NBA champions. I think the Golden State Warriors will win it all. Your thoughts?
Well, as you noticed in that game last night, Steven Adams was kicking their ass last night. Mm-hmm. And if Jaren Jackson realized he's 7 feet tall and stopped trying to be Curly Neal out there dribbling between his legs shooting threes, they really pounded the They really pounded the Warriors in the paint. It's probably too late because Adams was hurt. COVID games 1 and game 2, and then he finally got his act together last night because he probably got some conditioning in. And Jaren Jackson, for some unknown reason, never goes in the paint, and he did last night. And I thought that was the big difference. But the point I want to make is, hey, DeAndre Ayton and JaVale McGee, they're going to have a field day against them little bitty dudes the Warriors put out there. Now, the Warriors the Warriors actually have not shot the ball well at all, but they're not going to grow by the next round. So I think Phoenix is going. I think Phoenix going to have a good chance of beating them. I think Ayton and McGee and Jay Crowder and those guys are going to be able to get a lot of offensive rebounds. So I still think the Suns are the team to beat in the West.
Well, Chuck, I believe you're going to get the opportunity to interview the back-to-back MVP tomorrow night on the TNT broadcast. Look forward to hearing that. We'll do the same here at Altitude.
They should give you the award. You need to fly to Serbia and go find him.
Yeah.
We have no idea.
And just give it to him. Exactly. Go to a horse barn and find him.
Hey, let me tell you something. I'm not going to Serbia. I'm going to stick to I'm going to stick to with all the crazy stuff we got going on in America, this still is the best country in the world by far. By far. I mean, I've been around the world. Like I said, we got problems and issues here, but ain't nothing like the good old USA. So, hey, I'll fly. I tell you what, I might come out to an Avalanche game later in the playoffs because, I ain't got nothing else to do once the Western Conference Finals are over. So I might see you guys. I got to do the match in Vegas, but I might come out to an Avalanche game, so I might call you, Vic.
Bro, anytime, Chuck. Any seat you want in the house, we'll take care of you. You come watch the Avs with me, then we'll play 18, and you'll give me 6 strokes a side, and we'll make some easy
100%.
money, okay?
Chuck, I'm telling you right now, man, it's a special team. If you want to jump on the wagon now's the time to do it.
Well, I already picked them. They asked me 2 weeks ago when the started. I said the Avalanche. My dream matchup is the Avalanche against the Lightning. Right. And I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if Tampa's going to be able to beat Toronto. I really don't. Toronto's whoever wins that game tonight going to win that series.
If that happens, you get access, whatever you want in Denver. We will host you for a game, but it'll be a good time. Chuck, thanks for your time, man. Great work there on TNT.
Okay, brother. Thanks for having me. You guys have a great day.
Take care. That is the one and only Charles Barkley, who wanted to talk more Avs than he did the MVP, and that's great. I found it funny because they watch all those monitors. He's watching hockey games during the NBA playoffs.
And the good doctor. And the good doctor. He's